it's disturbing the way that people engage, psychologically, mentally, and emotionally. Ever since I came back home and they kidnapped the kids back in 2012, whenever I sit down and am watching sports or something and see these people, they're praying and they're stressing and they're. And I guess maybe I did that when I was a fan of stuff too. Maybe not so much, but not really a fan, but you, person that enjoys sports. But I always sit there and think, I wish they were this concerned about living the Lord's Prayer. I wish they were concerned about giving truthful and faithful love to their children as an eternal inheritance. I wish they were as concerned about Earl being tortured by the military and their scientists as they were about millionaires winning football games for billionaires, holding all the things on the advertising hostage from people that can't make them billions to keep them, and make them millions to keep them billionaires. So it's particularly disturbing. It is very particularly disturbing. I agree. It's very much particularly disturbing. And the people, you're just jealous, guys. I was the fastest human in the world during my time, and if I had focused on it, and I couldn't though. When I did it, everything I did was quite by accident. When it was, Bob's mom throwing the knife at me and doing the flip over and then not wanting to, to let Skibiak beat me, kicking his ass and then being nice and easing up. And same thing with, everything that I ever did, it was my kindness. Okay. That kept me from being a superstar, mega champion celebrity. It's my kindness. Not wanting to win, not wanting to be better, not wanting to make others feel inadequate. And then when intellectually they kept challenging me in Sierra Vista, and it continued here. It was my kindness that kept kicking their ass into oblivion anonymously here on social media to save us from advertising, from cute little brown girls, she is cute, talking to a CGI lizard about philanthropy and powdered chocolate macaroni and cheese is not nearly as good as Mom's and Punchies and Shells. No. Grandma Bowen's and Grandma Murphy's. I liked my mom's, but Grandma Bowen's was just a little bit better. The way she made it, just a little bit better. And Mom would probably admit it. Well, yeah, Mom would, because she learned how to make different things from different people. And if she found a recipe she liked better than hers, she would get it and add it to her thing. Yes, sir. She was humble like that. When you find somebody that does it better than your mom does, you just go, promised your mom not to do things you've done. Sometimes you gotta copy other people's recipes because they're just a tad bit better than great grandma's. Intuit QuickBooks, huh? You are being obliterated off the face of the planet with your own AI. All the things that you're doing to do your aggressive brain chemical addiction, narcissism on TV right now with the Shark Tank people and it's literally trapping you in your ego, and there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and it's obvious. And I'm anonymously. It's a lot like what they talk about. I guess it's hard for a lot of people to understand. It'd be like a thief in the night. It's basically what it means is no one even sees it coming because they tried to steal the Gospels. The unholy tried to steal the Gospels from the righteous. And so, they don't even see it coming because they're so arrogant and they're so broken and they're so overconfident and insane. It's insane, And it's very difficult to deal with. It's very disturbing. You have to believe it's happening. It's happening. Okay, you cannot not believe in the book of Revelation and the man from the book. He's real and it's happening. You cannot not believe, that what I did is real, that the gospels are real, that the prophecy is real, that the faith is real, right? And so it's insane. It's very insane, And I really do wish that people could, hope someday you'll join us and the world can be as one. I'm certain that there was probably some influences, either directly or indirectly, by, Alan Watts, Judah Krishnamurti, and D.T. Suzuki, among a lot of the things that the Beatles expressed, and we don't know for sure because you could go ask Ringo Starr and what's his name, Paul McCartney. What was George thinking when he went, Hare Krishna? What was John thinking about? And they're not them. They don't know. Okay, how much they knew about Krishnamurti or Suzuki or shoot, Selassie, because I'm certain that Krishnamurti knew who Selassie was and was aware of the prophecy about his life and things and stuff like that. And I'm certain because Suzuki, we talked about a lot of things, and he was aware of, and same with Sun Yat-sen, was aware of a lot of things and things that were yet to come and yet to happen, and was aware of other people's religions and understandings, and and so very rare, so it's it's interesting. Watching people do their thing. Whew. Okay, so it's the Hallis Trophy, the Hunt Trophy, and then the Lombardi for the Super Bowl. But Hunt was the one who invented the Super Bowl. He was. Wasn't Lamar Hunt the one who came up with Super Bowl? And I think it was. Lombardi just won the first two Super Bowls. Yeah. But Hunt invented the Super Bowl. It's his idea. Yeah. He was the owner of the Chiefs. And Chiefs lost the was it the first? Did they lose the first one to the Packers? Who did they beat in the first? I can't remember. It was a long ass some other stuff in time ago. I believe the first because this is the 60th Super Bowl. So the first Super Bowl was the year that I was born, January, and the year I was born, July that year. And first Super Bowl, I want to say the first Super Bowl was the Chiefs and the Packers. And then the second Super Bowl, was it the Packers and the Raiders? I don't recall. Pencil Park and Falls. I used Torio just what I missed. And then I think the third one was at the Chiefs and the Vikings. And the Chiefs, no, wasn't the Chiefs and the Vikings. It was the whatchamacallits, the Jets were the first ones to win from the AFL, right? Because it was against what was the name of that? The Colts, the Colts, and game's over, and so that's interesting. Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That guy almost screwed the game for them. Number 27. Yeah, that was stupid. Yeah, that was a big turning point in the game. It made it a lot tighter and a lot tougher. If he hadn't been stupid. It was, they were up by 2 scores and they would have got the ball. And yeah. So he really, 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 really screwed that up. That was dumb. I was sitting there having Ravens flashbacks. How many times over the last 2 or 3 years have the Ravens had a game like that and they got some kind of a stupid ass penalty from some thuggish ruggish dumbass acting stupid, and you're like, man, just shut up and just play football, just play the damn game, man. Just get it over, just keep, remember what the doorman said, keep your head. And then you wonder, are they like being impulsed or influenced? I mean, because, they don't care if it causes brain damage on these kids and stuff like that. They do it with me, and I'm the Messiah. I used to sit there, and Jesus would always get on me. Earl? I'm like, yeah, I know. Every time you fuck with someone's head to manipulate them to feel powerful, you're literally fucking your own head. Do you understand? Okay, so what you do to everyone affects everybody. The lowest of the low is the highest of the high. So what happens to the, quote, least of us affects the greatest of us, right? So what you do to the person you consider insignificant, okay, that insignificance affects and reflects on you eternally, right? So when you expect people to have faith in God, because it's right and you understand it and you stand up for it without fear, and you hope for it from everybody, okay? Even Donald Trump, okay? And even Hillary Clinton. Wow, that's asking a lot. What do you mean? We're all given life by the glory of grace. Okay? And Ebenezer Scrooge is a fictional character of Charles Dickens's imagination, right? But it's not asking too much to ask people to believe in the truth of the Messiah and live his faithful, loving truth, right? That's not asking too much. Asking too much is asking us to keep doing the wrong thing and then celebrate it as if it's the right thing, right? Like we discussed at the beginning of this video about everybody getting all excited and acting crazy about the football games as if David, King of Israel, God dang, I hate these propaganda toolbacks. I hate it. I'm required to respect the glory of grace that gives life to you. I'm not required to respect the bullshit you do for genocidal philanthropy, denying us the Lord's Prayer. Okay. King David of Israel on TV. Assholes. You guys are assholes. Yeah. It's not like you have to know I exist and watch my YouTube channel. Okay. The Lord's Prayer is pretty self-explanatory. Forgive debt and trespass, love each other, and one of eternal faithful peace. Okay, so I want to audition for a movie, make myself a millionaire, and then have enough money to what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and make people, drive a big expansive car, drive miles on the ground. I mean, it will do anything. Everyone will look at me with envy or grief, and I'll revel in their attention. Mountains of things. Oh, they tell me there's still time to make AI program your soul. They tell me renounce all those religious things you believe in that are what is it? Idealist and get people killed, right? Assholes. They are. I'm surrounded by complete fucking assholes. The worst assholes in the history of the world. Okay. From what I got from Ron, when he talked to me about stuff and his, connection to Mr. Ponce, who's a good man, and I can see why Ron would like him and he'd like Ron, but, they work together here in the White Sands community and the espionage community. And Ron hated most of the people he had to work with at White Sands. I told you guys this. He was a Chiricahua gentleman, okay, who hated his job and hated his life because of all the people that he had to deal with on a daily basis. And he couldn't kill to stop from mass murdering poor people for their jobs. He used to put up a poster of an Ethiopian kid starving to death with a vulture, okay, sitting on a tree ready to pounce on the kid and eat it after he died. And he would tell all his Christian counterpart workers at White Sands, that vulture on that tree right there, that's you son of a bitch. Tell him, I'm Chiricahua. Okay. He's just like me when I was in the service, when I would say stuff to people like that too. And I'd say it all the time everywhere I worked. Did you say that? I say it now. Okay. Yeah, he said, I'm Chiricahua. If you came here, now, you came here years ago, like Charlie Bronson movies, I had taken you out, staked you to an anthill, stripped you naked, slit your eyelids and poured honey on them so that the ants would eat your eyes out. Okay, tell them. No, I wasn't that way. My thing was, you're selfish and you ain't good for nothing, but getting all the good people that try to get out of this hell alive and safe to take care of families killed. So the first thing I would do when we got put into Haz LZ is kill you and bury you right on the site to keep everybody else safe and alive so we all get back home to our families. That's what I would say. The first thing I would do is kill you. I would say that to people. When I had people I did not trust and they were selfish, and their selfishness would get all the people trying to survive this hell killed because they would sell us all out for a steak, a corner office, and I would tell them right to their face. First thing I would do if I got put in and we're in a hot LZ. This is Las Cruces, that's from fucking New Mexico. That's Fort Huachuca. Okay, this is a hot LZ. This is where they murder people over money. Okay? And life's eternal and grace is infinite. Like Jesus with the Roman Empire. I already did my job. Above and beyond. And you made the technology. Like I tell people around here. When I talk to you about the Gospels, I don't bring my cell phone. You do. And you pray to Jesus. And these mean little scientists, this person's praying to Jesus, then you come and talk to him. And they like that one guy at Lowe's, the right-wing conservative military dude, and I talked to him about it. He said, oh, fine, this conversation's over. It's like, why do you talk to Jesus in prayer about the fucked up shit you're in business with that gets people mass murdered, and when it kills somebody like you ask Jesus, why did this has to happen? Because you're not standing up for the Lord's Prayer of the man who's, telling you about your hypocrisy bullshit about the Bible in aisle 17 at Lowe's. Hardware store, yeah. Oh, this conversation is like, no, you, okay, are the one who prayed to Jesus about this stuff. And your government had a virtual presence. And then the scientists got the virtual presence and got us together at St. Alley. And I knew what I had to talk to you about. And you told me I was inappropriate and not to talk about it. And this conversation was over. It's like, why are you talking to me about something that disturbs you? And then when I talk to you about how disturbing it is to me because you won't live the Lord's Prayer, you tell me to shut up. I tell you the truth about your sin, quite because you asked, and I tell you. And then you tell me to shut up. Okay? What kind of fool, what kind of a vile person plays to the eternal spirit of King David? Why are people getting murdered in my family because we fight over money? Because you're not living the Lord's Prayer of the Living Messiah on YouTube, asshole. Because the books have been changed by propaganda tool bags and turd bags, asshole. We're not having this conversation anymore. I don't like what you say. Yeah, you don't like what I say, but you got all your taxpayer dollars with cell phone towers on every corner to collect all the evidence of the public utility. to keep people safe with technology and Wi-Fi. And who's the gracious good shepherd? Earl. And who's not? You. And all you scientists that laugh at these corporate dirtbags that murder in my name and say they all end up getting killed because of their bad brain activity. Okay? They're still getting killed because of bad brain activity. And your bad brain activity isn't making our environment an any better place to live in, not making our group brain activity any more healthy. Okay? You're just as guilty as they are. Splinter in the plank. Splinter in the plank. One is a splinter, the other's a plank. What are we going to do tonight, Brian? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Take over your own mind. Okay? Tell your mind it's squirming like a toad. And if I keep giving you a ride, sweet memory will die. Okay? I won't have faithful love. I won't have children that are faithful lovers. I'll have institutionalized, indoctrinated incarceration for the rest of my existence and pass it on, just like Pascal said about eternal wretchedness, right? So don't get excited about millionaires keeping billionaires on TV. Get excited about standing up for the Lord's Prayer and loving the Messiah the way the Messiah loves you. And quit judging me on how my physical appearance and my actions and what I think, do, and say. I'm having to connect to you being a complete broken, dumbass asshole, And, I don't despise anybody. And I think Sam Darnold is not a terrible kid. I just think he's dumb as a box of rocks, and he ain't any smarter than Tom Brady. Or Michael Strahan, that's for me, or Terry Bradshaw, yeah, or Howie Long, yeah, or his kid Chris, right, or Bill Cowher, right, it's all dumb as a box of rocks, yes. Hey, Mr. President, we won the Super Bowl. I'm going to get were you going to go to Disneyland or Disney World? Both. Okay, Deion Sanders. Hey, look, it's a duck that talks. Okay, you're going to make lots of money off the talking duck. What do we have to do? We live the Lord's Prayer. That's great. All right, let's do that. Okay, guys, we'll talk later. Peace out, man, all right?